Good evening, friends. Thanks for your valuable comments on my video on Tutor, Coup, and Twitter. I make sure that I read all of them and post them on social media. Today, we have two sessions. In this session, I'll update you on the latest news, and in the second session, we will discuss why only Hindu temple money is taken over by state governments and not other religious institution funds. At a time when India is trying its best to fight the spread of the second surge of COVID, our Prime Minister had requested all citizens to stay at home under lockdown so as to curb the crisis. People had criticized the Kumbh Mela, you will remember that, which too was stopped by our PM on his request. All religious functions and public gatherings, I feel, should be postponed at such times. But it doesn't happen that way. A massive Eid gathering revealed the futility of lockdown during the second wave of the pandemic in India. And social distancing norms and lockdown measures against the coronavirus pandemic have gone for a toss during the Eid celebrations. Authorities in most states of India are not even pretending that they're making an effort to clamp down on Eid gatherings. It is in stark contrast to the atmosphere that has prevailed in the country for months on end. The visuals emerging from multiple states were quite staggering. Huge crowds are loitering in the streets to celebrate the festival. But it is not a new development. Such scenes have prevailed over the past few days in the run-up to the festival. Such scenes also demonstrate why lockdown in India during the second wave of the pandemic is a doomed endeavor from the very beginning. Apart from questions regarding their efficacy, lockdowns will not work if authorities refuse to reinforce the restrictions on one particular section of the community. And it's also important that individuals have self-discipline within themselves and also ensure that they keep others safe, be it in the family, the neighborhood, all around you. This is a serious pandemic and people are acting as though festivals are the most important thing and not death. Meanwhile, Bombay High Court grants ex-Mumbai top cop Paramveer Singh relief from arrest in the corruption case. The Bombay High Court granted relief from arrest till May 20 to former Mumbai Police Commissioner Paramveer Singh on Thursday. The Thane police will not effect Singh's arrest till May 20th. This is in connection with the corruption case lodged against him last month. Advocate Mahesh Jethmalani, appearing for Singh, said that the first information report, FIR, registered against him was not maintainable. Since the Maharashtra government's advocate, Darius Khambata, said he would need time to file a reply, Jethmalani stated that there should not be any coercive action against the petitioner. The division bench of Justice P.B. Varale and Justice N.R. Borkar asked what the status of the case is, and Khambata said investigation is underway. Inspector Bhim Rao Ghadge, posted at Akola in Maharashtra, registered an FIR against Singh, which was then transferred to Thane for investigation. Ghadge made a series of allegations of corruption against Singh and other officers. These pertain to the period when Singh was posted at Thane police station. Ghadge was posted in the Thane Police Commissionerate between 2015 and 2018. He alleged that Singh pressured him to drop the names of some individuals from a case. When he refused to do so, Singh embroiled him in false cases. His case against Singh and other police officers has been lodged under various sections of the Indian Penal Code for criminal conspiracy and destruction of evidence, as well as sections of the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act. Now, here's something I really don't understand. Perhaps viewers, you can also pass your comments on this. I really don't understand why author J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter fame gave a 6-figure donation to the pro-Khalistani outfit Khalsa Aid. So we are humbled by the support for our humanitarian work, tweeted Khalsa Aid, thanking the British author. They claim they are working for COVID relief. Though we would refrain from commenting on the COVID relief work, this controversial organization has undertaken to support those who are worst affected by the pandemic. We have supported in detail how Khalsa Aid is suspected to be a front organization for the Khalistani outfit Babbar Khalsa International, BKI. The NIA had registered a case in this regard in December 2012, alleging that Khalsa Aid was one of the organizations linked to the BKI, funding the Indian BKI members to commit terror acts in the country. Unfortunately, the case hit a dead wall for the past 1.5 years. Babar Khalsa intends to create an independent Sikh state in India through violent means and is responsible for several terror attacks in the country, resulting in many civilian deaths. The Trump administration had declared BKI a threat to American interests. Besides being allegedly involved in funding terror activities in India, Khalsa Aid International has also been accused of illegally raising funds and being non-transparent about how they utilize the pooled funds. Hence, why the author has contributed so much money to them is very surprising for me. With regards to Salman Khan's Radhe, as soon as the film, Salman Khan's film, Radhe was released on Z5 on May 13, it was claimed that the servers of the platform crashed due to million hits in what seemed like a last-minute ploy to gain publicity. It seems that Z5 is really struggling to promote the film, and I really don't see the reason why these OTT platforms buy these lackluster Bollywood films of age-old stars. Even a die-hard Bhai fans are not pleased with how Radhe turned out. The film has become one of the lowest-rated films on IMDb, featuring Salman Khan with a score of 2.4. What's more, is there any chance of the movie being leaked online, thereby hurting the revenue of ZOTT? In another small bit of news, Irfan Pathan, the cricketer, takes a sly dig at Kangana Ranaut and says, "All my tweets are either for humanity or countrymen." Ever since Kangana Ranaut has been suspended by Twitter, the Bollywood actress has been posting several stories on her Instagram handle in support of Israel in its ongoing clashes with Palestine. She went on to juxtapose a tweet of UP BJP MLA who had questioned former cricketer Irfan Pathan for sympathizing with Palestine, but had remained silent on West Bengal violence that erupted after TMC's win in the state. Irfan tweeted, "All my tweets are either for humanity or countrymen, from a point of view of a guy who has represented India at the highest level. On the contrary, counters I get from people like Kangana, whose accounts get dismissed by spreading hate, and some other paid accounts are only about hate." Kerala MLA Dinesh Chaudhary on Wednesday posted that if Irfan Khan loves his country so much, what made him not put a single tweet on West Bengal violence? While I, as a journalist, don't stand with either Kangana or Irfan, I consider Kangana just an opportunist, and Irfan, we all know how, what goes on backstage during IPL sessions. So, when he projects himself as a hero, let's just forget that. We hope all this will soon be exposed, and whatever hanky-panky is happening in IPL gets exposed, and all these cricketers get exposed. Meanwhile, I'm not sure whether Anupam Kher got misquoted by NDTV or whether he meant what he said. Anupam Kher, like Kangana Ranaut, made a U-turn and said it's time for government to understand that there's more to life than image building during the COVID crisis. The veteran actor, who is often viewed as being close to the Narendra Modi-led government, added that it was time for the government to understand there's more to life than image building. So whether that was a sarcastic dig, we don't know. Asked if the efforts of the government should have been more in providing relief right now than managing their own image and perception, Anupam Kher said it is important for the government to rise to the occasion and do things for the people who elected them. I think the criticism is valid in lots of cases. Only an inhuman person will not get affected by the bodies floating in the rivers, Kher said, in a reference to the scores of bodies found floating in the Ganga and other rivers, leading to suspicion that they might be those of COVID-19 patients. But for another political party to use it for their gain, he said, I think that is not right. I think we should, as people get angry, it's important to hold the government responsible for what's happening. Somewhere they have slipped. It is time for them to understand that there is much more to life than just image building, maybe, he added. How can you console someone who has lost a family member due to shortage of oxygen, medical facilities, or beds? You can't. But that does not stop life. I lost a friend to corona, but I'm still doing my job. Looks like Either the actor needs films and money, hence he's making such statements and doing a U-turn to return to Bollywood fold, or he's been misquoted, which I'm not sure. Because being NDTV, I never trust anything that this channel says. Anyway, this is how fickle people can be. That's all the news for today, friends. I'll catch you in the next session, that is at 8 o'clock, where we talk about how temple funds are being taken by the state governments and why other institution funds are not being used. Thank you, friends. Please join me at 8 o'clock. Thank you.